Did you know that over 80% of businesses use video to market themselves? And also that the most popular website dedicated to video happens to be the second largest website across the entire internet. And of course, that website happens to be YouTube. So with that said, being on YouTube can have a powerful impact in your business. And being able to run YouTube ads will actually accelerate your ability to reach home buyers and home sellers alike. So today we explore how to run YouTube ads for real estate leads. Let's begin. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. Question of the day, are you running YouTube ads in your business? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, so let's get started with creating our YouTube ad. If this looks familiar, it's because you've run a YouTube ad in the past or you have run a Google ad in the past, given that they're operated from the same platform. So to create a new campaign, we can either start from here or start from up here, whichever is your preference. So we're gonna go with the middle of the button, go with new campaign, and we have various forms of creating the campaign. So it's a goal, so select the goal that would make this campaign successful for you. By you selecting the goal, you're giving YouTube ads the permission to pre-fill some things or limit the selections that you have whenever you're navigating the ad creation based off of the goal that you have. So if you're looking for sales, if you're looking for leads, if you're looking for website traffic, when you click on those and then select the video ad right here, the video selection, then it's going to limit the options that you have on the back end. So we really don't want to dig into these too much. So we're going to start with a brand new campaign without a goal guidance. So we want as many options as we can have on the other side, so we can get as creative as we want. So we're going to go create a campaign without a goals guidance, go with video. This video aspect is what makes it a YouTube ad. The other types of campaigns, these are for Google search. So we're gonna go with video and we're gonna select the custom video campaign. Again, with this selection of the subtype, this campaign subtype, we are giving ourselves flexibility on the type of ads that we want to run, whether that be in-stream, whether that be display, whether that be search. We still have all of our options available to us. So we're gonna go to continue. I'm not gonna worry too much about the campaign name, but just as a tip, I would suggest that you put the date that you create the campaign. The reason that I personally include it is it helps me monitor my campaigns, and it also gives me a benchmark or a date to work from whenever I'm calling YouTube ads for support. So again, I'm gonna use Google ads and YouTube ads interchangeably. Technically it's the Google ad support, but since we're running it on the YouTube platform, I'm just gonna use them interchangeably. So whenever I'm calling support, they're gonna ask me which campaign I'm referring to, and the most common rejection or the most common issue that you're gonna have is that whenever you launch your campaign, it's not going to run within the 48 hours that they typically quote. Their goal is for the campaign to get approved within 48 hours or less, but if you're gonna fall into an issue, the issue that's gonna be most common is that your ad is not publishing in a proper time window. So that's why I actually include the naming, the date on the naming convention. So we're gonna keep going so I don't get stuck just on the naming of the campaign. As far as bidding strategy, you have two options. You can go maximum CPV or target CPM. CPV is cost per view, CPM is cost per thousand. So basically when you go CPM, it's more for impressions. It's an impression based. It's not 1,000 views. It's cost, well, it says right here, with target CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, you're paying for the impressions. versus when you go CPV, the cost per view. Those are the differences. So we're gonna leave this particular YouTube ad with cost per view because I care about the people that actually watch my video. I'm willing to pay for that. And we are going to select the budget of a daily budget, and we're going to go with $25 per day. When it comes to delivery method, you can select the standard or accelerated. Accelerated means if there's enough volume with it that you select in your audience who you're targeting, then it's gonna spend your money as quickly as possible. Standard is effectively looks at the budget that you have set at $25 and it spaces it out for the next 30 days. So it operates based off of a let's just say a 30-day monthly average, and it goes for the average. Some days you're gonna spend $5, some days you're gonna spend $50. As long as Google at the end of the day or YouTube at the end of the day will average out to the $25 for the month for the 30 days. When we select networks, we have various options. So YouTube search, where whenever you type in something in the search bar, you're gonna show up there. The first two spots are up for grabs, so that's YouTube search. We're not interested in that at the moment. And then, as a general rule, unless I'm retargeting, I do not include video partners in the display network. That is a money pit if you're driving or running your ads from a cold to a cold audience most of the time. So I typically, unless again I'm running a retargeting ad, I don't include the partners because I just don't see them as being effective. Languages, we're gonna select English. All right, locations, we're gonna go with Dallas-Fort Worth. So the area, we're gonna target this. And it should give us a good amount of impressions, as that's a 450 million impressions. It's a large metroplex, so we have a good amount of impressions to work with. So as far as audience, we're gonna have no issues there. All right, inventory type. Depending on where you want your ad, at the end of the day, this ad will be an in-stream ad. In-stream ads are the ads that you see when you click on an ad on a video, on a YouTube video. You're gonna most likely see an ad that's within that video, and you have to wait either 5 seconds or 15 seconds before you can actually watch your video or skip the ad to get to the video. So that is an in-stream ad. It's actually within the video that you are getting ready to watch. So with inventory type, you get to select where you want your ad to show. With limited inventory, it excludes most types of sensitive content and limit your available inventory. In the standard inventory, which is where I regularly run all of my ads with the standard inventory, they get a little bit more loose on the type of content that your ad can be shown in front of. And then with the expanded inventory, you have the maximum available inventory by showing ads on some sensitive content, and it gives you an understanding of what that sensitive content is. Excluded content, this used to be the way that you excluded. However, this is going away, so we're not going to mess with this. The inventory type basically is replacing the exclusion content, the excluded content right here. And then the excluded types and labels, you have another form of exclusions. What I like to exclude are the embedded videos, which those videos are the ones that are taken from YouTube and placed somewhere else on some other websites. So although I do have the ability to see which websites they're in, I just like to exclude those altogether. And I like to exclude the live streaming videos. Live streaming videos typically have an in-stream ad before you actually go into the live stream. And my understanding or my rationale with excluding this type of content is if somebody's going to go view something that's live, then I don't see them as being as receptive to my advertising because they're going there to interact in a live format. So I don't, I like to exclude those, so I don't like to actually advertise on them. We're gonna go to additional settings. And this part is pretty awesome. This part, the selective optimization, this next feature was not available up until a couple of weeks ago. And that feature is choose a conversion for this campaign. So choose a different type of conversion for this campaign. You were able to select and differentiate between the different conversions you wanted to optimize for, but on Google ads, not on YouTube ads. So the fact that this was introduced is amazing. You're able to leave several conversions on at once and then advertise different campaigns with different conversion goals in mind, or optimization of different conversions. So here you can run one for buyer and sellers. You can optimize the conversion for buyers and sellers. You can run another campaign optimizing for investors, and so on and so on. So that's pretty cool. All right, as far as devices, you can select the targeting. I take out TV screens most of the time, depending on what I'm advertising. So for our ad today, we are actually advertising new construction. So I will leave the TV screens out of it because they are going to be sent over to a landing page. Frequency capping, since this is going to a cold audience, I'm not too worried about frequency capping at the moment. I'm okay with it running. Now, if I was retargeting, the retargeting audience generally is much smaller, so I would be capping the frequency at that point. I'm okay with the ad schedule, which is running whenever the searches are available, so I'm okay with that. Now we get to the ad group side. This is the equivalent of the ad set over on Facebook. So the ad group is effectively what you're telling YouTube is who I want to target and where I want to target. So the people who you want to target and the content where you want your ads to show. For our purposes, we're going to do a little bit of pruning with the demographics. So we are going to target individuals that are within these age groups, so 25 to 64. We are okay with parental status, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. And then income, we're gonna go with the top 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, so the top 40% in household income. So those are the demographic changes that we are doing with our targeting at the moment. And when it comes to audiences, we are gonna select something right here. We're gonna go to browse, and you have several options. You can target based off of their demographics, so who they are. You can select their parental status, marital status, education, home ownership status. You can target based off of their interests, what they're typically interested in. You can target based off of their actively researching or planning. So if they're in market, so if they're researching something that, meaning they're ready to purchase sometime in the near future. Or you can target based off of how you have connected with them in the past. So if you have your Google Ads tag on your website, you're able to retarget those individuals by creating a custom audience. I just did a recent video on that, so I invite you to check that out. I'll be sure to link it down below so you have access to that and see how to actually retarget those individuals that at one point visited your website. And then a combined audience, so you're able to combine different aspects that you just see up here and create your own unique audience to make it work. So as far as additional targeting, let's go with what they are actively researching. So the in-market audience, we are gonna go with those individuals that are looking at life events, and the life event is gonna be marriage. So this is the audience of the people that are this demographic, that fit this type of demographic, and that are getting married. So this is something that they're actively researching. So that's the audience that we're targeting. And then we can narrow it down even more by applying some keywords. We're not gonna do that, but just so you know that you have that ability here. And then the topic section is content about specific subjects. So the way that I like to explain this is if you go to a real estate agent convention, you know what they're generally going to be talking about. So the vendors, let's just say CRMs, let's say title companies, let's say lenders, it's to their advantage to be at those conventions to form those relationships with real estate agents. So take topics and interchange it with conventions. It's the same methodology. Here, you know what the topic is going to be around. So if it's advantageous for you to be introduced into that subject, into that specific content, then that's where you advertise. All right, so we're going to go to placements. In placements, you can be in specific channels and specific videos, popular content. You have a good amount of options. So if you wanted to advertise on my channel for any reason, or on your competitors' channels, whatever that may be, then you can certainly select them. As long as they are monetized, you're able to run the in-stream ads. So if there's a smaller channel that is not monetized, or if it's a large channel and is not monetized, then you're not going to be able to run those in-stream ads because they haven't selected to do so. We're not going to worry about that for our purposes today. And then when it comes to cost per view, depending on what you're advertising, should be below 10 cents. Again, depending on what you're advertising, there are certain audiences that cost a little bit more than the others. So yes, you can get a view for 20 cents, 30 cents, 80 cents. It just varies on the specificity of your audience and the cost of that audience. So we're going to go with $1 is going to be our maximum CPV. If we're seeing that we're winning a ton in the YouTube ads auction, then yeah, we can scale it back so we're not running out of budget all that quickly. And when it comes to the actual video, this is going to be the actual ad that gets presented to the individuals that click on the video, whatever video they're going to go watch. And as long as that channel is monetized, your ad would show up in stream if you're winning in the auction. So let me get a video that I created for a new construction, master plan new construction community in the area. So it's south of Dallas Fort Worth, which is a town called Mansfield. So there's a large master plan community, South Point, down there. So I made a video about it, just highlighting the benefits of it. So I'm going to copy that there. I'm going to leave that as a skippable in-stream ad. And then what I highly suggest is that you create a landing page, that you create a place where you can drive the traffic to, so when they click through after they've seen your video and are interested in it, they're able to submit their information to you. They're able to submit their name, their phone number, and their email, or whatever you're asking for. If you want to do something a little bit more broad, something a bit more generic and quicker than actually creating a landing page, although creating a landing page is super fast, you can go to whatever CRM that you may have that has an IDX website and actually create that link that's unique to the community of the homes that are already on the ground. So these are mostly are new builds. So depending on your builder, they may be putting them on the MLS or they may not. So that strategy that I'm highlighting, where you're making the search of the homes that are ready to go available, that may not work as well. But for this particular one, I went ahead and created one already. So I'm going to paste this, and this link actually goes to that short list. Let me show you. So this is a saved search. Now you see the 17 results. These are results of the new construction. These are the results of new homes in the area that are already on the ground, or whatever was made available to the MLS from the builders. So to create that, if you have KB Core, or if you have any other IDX website that you have the capability of doing pre-save searches, even depending on your MLS, you may have that already within your MLS. So check that out. You're able to select that and make that available to individuals. And as long as you have the pixel installed in your website, then you are able to retarget those people as well. All right, we're gonna go back and finish up the ad. For the call to action, let's see, new homes. We'll put that there. Or no, let's be more direct. Take tour, new homes New Mansfield. Nope, we ran out of space. New homes. We'll just leave it at that. And then you would name your ad down here, and you're going to create the campaign. Well, that's it, folks. This is one of the many ways that you can leverage YouTube ads for your business. This particular type of campaign was a new construction ad campaign. If you're interested in seeing this type of campaign and other types of campaigns, I invite you to check out the YouTube Ads Mastery for Real Estate Leads. In that course, we get a lot more detailed and go in depth on how to launch everything from beginning to end. What we saw today is a very good overview and gives you enough to get started, but with YouTube Ads Mastery, it doesn't skip a step. That's it, folks. If you found value in this video, please be sure to subscribe so we can talk again soon.